Buckle up, buttercups. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, everybody, Rex Bear Leak Project. Are you keeping track of the news? You probably are. And if you're like me, you're probably wanting to get rid of Facebook because of all of the ridiculous posts that are pulling up right now with the division in the world. We'll talk about that a little bit. But geez, not only do we have insanity in social media, and rightfully so in some circumstances, I can understand, but don't put too much energy into it. That's just my advice, But regardless, we've got major activity with sunspot region 4366. So check this out. Over the past 48 hours, there have been some incredible developments. We look at region 4366 via the sun, and it has already produced 21 C-class flares, 38 M-class flares, and now 5 X-class flares. We had an 8.1 earlier associated with the CME that could bring glancing influences near Earth between February 5th and 6th. And NOAA's joint USAF NOAA daily activity forecast for February 2nd, yesterday, characterized solar activity as very high, and it carries a chance for an X-class flare or X-class flares in the future. We could be seeing more. Plus a forecast that geomagnetic conditions could reach quiet to minor storm levels by February 5th, which is consistent with that glancing influence. Now, is region 4366 facing Earth? Multiple science outlets reported that AR 4366 rotated into an Earth-facing position as the flare barrage occurred, increasing the odds that subsequent eruptions could have been or could have more direct effects, especially via radio blackouts, and if the CME geometry lines up, geomagnetic impacts. Now, do you have your non-GMO organic popcorn? I hope so, because look at this. A biolab was busted in Vegas, and it could have connections to another biolab that was busted in California just a couple of years ago. And weird experiments, weird vials. They're not telling us what's in these vials. And it makes me question how many of these illegal biolabs are there in the United States? How many that we don't know about? What are they doing in these biolabs? What are they preparing for? Who's funding them? Very weird. We're going to talk about that. And also, prayers. I'm sending prayers out to Savannah Guthrie and her mother, because her mom is now missing and there could be foul play. They found blood in the house. And, Savannah Guthrie is the co-anchor via Today. So what's going on there? Like, what's that about? That's really bizarre. Like, I'm sensing some type of like blackmail potentially. That's just what I'm thinking in my mind. Maybe it's because of all these files that have been released recently. Have you gone? I mean, I just want to turn off Facebook because it's like Facebook now. And these files that are alleged e-files are disgusting. Like, what is wrong with people? Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's for a whole other podcast. And there's plenty of people talking about that right now. So let's get into this. Let me pull up the first article that I wanted to share with you. And this is from NOAA. We're going to get into detail on this biolab in a minute, but let's pull this up right now. Actually, real quick, shout out Boomer Boost, Gladiator Barley. Get some. Stuff is awesome. Stuff is amazing. I just got another awesome testimonial from a friend that I sent some out to for the holidays. And the Gladiator Barley and the Boomer Boost is the cutting edge in nutrition. If you use the code REX20, you'll get 20% off your order. Just go to boomerboost.com and use the code REX20 when you check out. And if you set it up for auto ship, you can get an additional 10% discount. So just stack the discounts. You don't have to keep the auto ship. You probably will, but you don't have to. And let me know how you feel after 30 days. All right. So let's get into this. Here we go. Share screen. And man, Hey, we got a keyboard warrior in the chat. You go, keyboard warrior. So check this out. A strange convergence unfolding right now. We have a suspected lab operation in Vegas, echoing of the Reedley illegal biolab case. And another story is the active region 4366 via the sun, firing off major flares while it rotates into an Earth-facing position. Do I have this pulled up right now? Yes, I do. Okay. And in a separate but equally alarming development, authorities in Arizona are treating the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother as a suspected abduction, and investigators are collecting biological evidence from inside the home. First article we're going to talk about is this one right here. NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center has been tracking region 4366 as the primary driver. NOAA issued a specific update noting an 8.1 from region 4366, which we reported on like about half an hour after it happened, and stating that modeling of associated CME activity suggested most material would pass north and east of Earth with possible glancing influences, which could happen around February 5th. The next day, NOAA reported another strong X-class flare of 1.5 at 14:18 UTC time, again from region 4366. NOAA added an eye-popping stat since emerging on January 30th. Region 4366 has already produced 21 C-class flares, 38 M-class, and 5 X-class flares, with the earlier 8.1 associated with the CME that could bring glancing influences on Earth. Now, in region 4366, is it facing Earth? Multiple science outlets are reporting that AR 4366 rotated into an Earth-facing position as the flare barrage occurred, increasing the odds that subsequent eruptions could have more direct effects, especially via radio blackouts. And if a CME geometry lines up, we could see geomagnetic impacts. So we had a C7.8, an M1.5, M1.7, M2.6, M7.2, M3.6, X1.5, and an M7.2, all within a very short amount of time. Now, the repeated MX cadence is exactly the kind of pattern NOAA and other forecasters call a watch this region closely setup. Now let's get into this Biolab information. Very interesting. Let's go to the Biolab story here. Over the weekend, Las Vegas police. Hold on a second. Okay. Over the weekend, Las Vegas police served a search warrant at a residence after receiving a tip alleging a biolab was operating there. According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, Nanu, investigators found refrigerators containing vials with unknown liquids, describing them as potential biological material, prompting hazmat-level precautions, including use of a robot to clear the home and air sampling during the search. Now, there's 2 houses that are suspect of this biolab operation project. One person, identified as the property manager, was taken into custody, and the FBI is assisting. Authorities also stated there was no threat to the public at the time of announcement. Don't worry, we're with the government. We're here to help. Now, here's the part that ties directly into the Reedley Las Vegas, the Reedley lab that was busted a few years ago. Las Vegas officials said the home is owned by the same individual connected to the Reedley illegal lab investigation. And the Associated Press reports that the owner is Jia Bai Zhu, also reported under aliases, who is scheduled for trial in the Reedley-related federal case. Zhu's attorney has said his client has been in federal custody for years and is not involved in whatever was occurring inside the Las Vegas residence. Oh yeah, just the same owner. Totally coincidence. Local reporting adds another important operational detail. Investigators reportedly searched 2 Las Vegas homes, discovering over 1,000 samples described as illegal medical-type biological research materials. Those are being tested right now. They haven't told us what it is. Now, if we zoom out, the Reedley case in California, which has been formally documented across city, county actions, federal charges, and congressional review, in 2023, federal prosecutors announced the arrest of Jia Bai Zhu, alleging violations involving misbranded medical devices, false statements tied to manufacturing and distributing test kits from COVID-19, pregnancy, and HIV without proper authorization. A House Select Committee report compiled after the Reedley discovery describes a warehouse lab environment containing transgenic mice, hazardous materials, and unknown public health risk due to unclear oversight and incomplete viability and visibility into what was stored, handled there. It also documented that the facility was not properly licensed or registered for the activities and materials described. Local summaries of the Reedley operation describe officials finding unauthorized biological agents, bodily fluid samples, testing materials, and nearly 1,000 mice at that site. So just imagine this for a minute. Imagine that they do experiments on these mice with unknown pathogens or extremely contagious viruses or bacteria, and then the mice get out. Then what? This is bad. This is really, really bad. So Las Vegas is being treated as a new suspected scene. The connection being asserted publicly is ownership and investigative linkage to the Reedley figure case, not at least yet a proven identical inventory of pathogens or a proven active biolab purpose in Nevada. The testing and chain of custody results are what would turn suspicion into verified specifics. Wicked. Let me see if I can get more information on this, like what they actually found in there. This is gnarly. Absolutely crazy. Okay. So, thousands of laboratory items. And this was the Reedley. This was the Reedley Biolab. This was confirmed by Fresno County, the CDC, and congressional records. Thousands of laboratory items, 20 refrigerators and freezers, thousands of vials, petri dishes, flasks, centrifuges, incubators, microscopes, no valid biosafety permits. Biological agents officially confirmed. Now, once again, we're going back to the Reedley event. These were named in county briefings and federal documents. These were named. Pathogens: SARS-CoV-2, influenza, chlamydia, E. coli, hepatitis, streptococcus. Potentially, these could be weaponized. Some were cultures, others test materials. Genetically modified organisms, humanized lab mice, genetically altered to respond like humans, which are often used for drug testing, different research on vaccines, and viral response studies. These mice require permits. None were found. Then the vials, a lot of the vials had no labels. They were unknown liquids. Biohazard waste was stored improperly, and no documented disposal process. This led to hazardous waste violations, public health emergency declaration. So what was alleged and then clarified later? Early reports claimed Ebola, HIV, smallpox, and anthrax. Later clarification, the CDC in Fresno County stated they were not confirmed. Some labels were misidentified or mistranslated. No evidence, though high-risk agents were present. This confusion fueled national headlines, but was walked back officially. Who was linked? Jia Bai Zhu, also associated with name David He. connected to a company claiming to run COVID test manufacturing, no valid FDA or state licenses, no criminal bioterrorism charges filed as of the latest updates. Now, the reason the Reedley case matters so much is obviously the connection by the owner and similar circumstances. But this is far larger than a typical illicit lab. Pathogen diversity, multiple human pathogens present, no oversight, zero regulatory compliance, animal testing without approval, national security concern, rightfully so, triggered congressional inquiry, leading to congressional hearings, a new scrutiny of pop-up diagnostic labs, and the Las Vegas lab being investigated right now is being investigated more aggressively because of that. Now, if we look at the Reedley Las Vegas connection, this is what we have confirmed so far via authorities, the property ownership and the management links, similar lab setup patterns, similar refrigeration and vial storage, same individuals appearing in records. However, no official statement says the same pathogens were found in Vegas. Here's the bottom line. The Reedley Biolab contained confirmed samples of SARS-CoV-2, influenza, E. coli, chlamydia, streptococcus, I said that wrong, hepatitis-related materials, and genetically modified lab mice, all stored and operated without permits. Early claims of Ebola or smallpox were later denied by authorities. Wicked. Absolutely wicked. This is the street. They said in the news, it said it was around Sugar Springs Drive. They didn't give an address, but this is Sugar Springs Drive in Vegas. And you can see, I mean, it is surrounded. I mean, it's a pretty busy area. There's a lot of houses out there. Imagine one of these mice with a highly contagious pathogen escapes, gets into another house, and then infects more mice, potentially more people. I mean, this could be a psychopath's wet dream. And my question is, who in the hell is funding these people? Were they just doing it because they thought, oh man, here's a great opportunity to make a bunch of money off of testing kits? Or is there some adversary, some military connections to other nations potentially funding this? And I mean, this is definitely national security stuff right here, in my opinion. So we'll keep you posted on that. And my prayers go out to Savannah. I mean, absolutely terrible. Like, moms are the best. The last thing you want is your mom to get abducted. That is like insane. So what the hell is going on here? What is going on? Well, this is what we do know. Hold on a second. A recent news article reported on moments shared by Savannah about her mother's life and legacy before the disappearance. This appears to be retrospective context. Okay. That was actually, I was doing some research. I'm sorry, let me go back. I did some research to find out if there was anything in the news about Savannah before her mom went missing. Like if there was something, some type of blackmail or somebody asking for money, or, you know, some psychopath saying, hey, if you don't do this, then we're going to take your mom. I mean, that's just the stuff that was going through my mind. Maybe it was random. I don't know. But let's see what we do know. Authorities in Arizona say Nancy Guthrie, she's 84, the mother of Savannah, has been missing since the night of January 31st from her home in the Catalina foothills near Tucson. Officials have stated they believe she was taken from the home against her will, and reporting notes investigators found signs consistent with a break-in abduction scenario, including blood and what law enforcement calls biological DNA type evidence, which has been submitted to labs. Investigators have also stressed why they don't think this is wandering or confusion. The sheriff said she is mentally sharp, has limited mobility, and needs essential medication, which increases urgency. At this stage, the careful phrasing matters. So we've got law enforcement suspects abduction, and is treating the home as a crime scene, but authorities have not publicly confirmed a perpetrator, motive, or a resolved timeline beyond what's being developed through forensic testing and neighborhood video review. Horrible, absolutely horrible. So if you have any information on this, definitely contact the local authorities or the FBI. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching the podcast. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe. I hope you're prepared, not scared. And we'll keep you posted. Be excellent to each other. Hit the bell for all notifications. Be the change you want to see. Thank you.